think there's a really weird feeling I get sometimes where if I don't play for a few days or I don't play for a certain amount of time, I start to feel kind of guilty. I don't think this is only like a video game thing either. I think if there's something that you're like passionate about or something you want to improve at, like a sport or something in real life, this probably happens to you too sometimes where like for me, a lot of the time it's like I'm just sitting around like watching YouTube videos, but in the back of my mind, I feel kind of guilty that I'm not doing anything. Like I'm not doing anything productive. For me right now, productivity is showing itself in the form of getting better at like Strive or getting better at fighting games or growing this YouTube channel or editing videos. Just something, right? Something productive. But when I'm not doing that, it just irks me. It makes me feel like really bad. And that's why you probably hear me tell myself a lot in these videos that you can't learn everything in one day. And even though I say that, I still try and do it inherently. Sometimes I don't practice what I preach, and it shows. It shows not to you guys probably in the videos, but to me, myself later on. I'm not like an idealistic person. Like I really don't like when people say they're going to do something or like have these big dreams, but they don't work towards it. I don't really show any resolve towards like reaching that goal. But lately, that's sort of been me. That's like been myself playing I guess any fighting game really since I've hit like Diamond in Street Fighter. I always told myself if I hit a rank, like I wouldn't care. I would still play the game and I'd still want to get better. But at some point, that just wasn't the case. I sort of hid behind that guise of Strive is coming out, so I'm not really playing Street Fighter 5 anymore, right? I'm want to play Strive, so I'm going to just wait till that comes out. And for like a week, no, more than a week, probably like 11 days, I did nothing. I did absolutely nothing. And there was a sense of guilt there, but it wasn't strong enough to actually make me get up and do something. And I think that's like a common theme for me. I think that happens a lot when I'm not playing competitively, right? When I stopped playing in tournaments and stuff offline or online even, that guilt wasn't strong enough. Losing O2 and feeling guilty that, you let down some people who were trying to help you, or you wanted to make a video out of it or something, make content out of it, and you just didn't because you weren't good enough. That guilt is enough to get me up and playing. Maybe guilt isn't the right word. Maybe it's motivation is what I'm looking for. But I haven't really felt that in a while. Don't get me wrong. I have fun playing Strive, but I just feel like I'm falling behind, Like I feel like people are improving a lot faster than me. Or maybe I'm not like reaching the goals I had set for myself as fast as I thought I could. Then it all comes back to the point that I just don't feel like playing sometimes. And then that guilt sets in. And it's like a very vicious cycle. And this is all over just a video game, right? Just a fighting game. But I can't imagine this being over something bigger, right? Like athletes probably feel like this at some point. If you're very passionate about something you like, maybe you felt like this at some point. I've never really had a passion for anything, I don't think, until like now, until I made this channel and I realized that I like playing fighting games and I like YouTube, right? I like doing it. That sounds very cliche, and I know the channel is very small in the broad scope of things, but I really do like doing this. And fighting games have turned from something that I do for competition to just a way for me to convey a message sometimes. Don't get me wrong, I still want to compete in this game. It's just sometimes conveying a message is easier behind gameplay, and I've realized that. At the end of the day, it's still a game, right? I still want to have fun. So whether that fun derives from me making these videos talking about nothing sometimes and just rambling, or playing competitively, I'll find it. I'll find that fun every time. I guess another thing that this really made me realize was that I'm not very well suited to like grinding, Like I know there's a ton of people who can like sit there and play like 100 games and then be ready to keep going. But for me, it's just in 1v1 games it feels like, because there's not really anybody to place blame on, Like if you lose, that was you. If you go 0-50, you lost 50 games. In a game like League of Legends or CSGO where I could play like 20 games a day, like just sit there for hours and hours, some games aren't your fault. Like some games you can deflect that blame and be ready to play again, but in this game you can't. The most you can do is say that character is broken, and how long are you going to say the broken until you learn the matchup? Something else that I've really been shown is that I'm not too good at finding things on my own. I've looked to a lot of people for answers a lot more than I like. I think in school, I sort of gave myself this idea that I was like a lone wolf, right? Like I could do things on my own and I could figure things out on my own. The way that I figure things out is not conducive to actually getting good. It's conducive to like half-assing and like getting by. I was a great student in school, but did I really fully learn the things that I needed to be a great student? No. I didn't. I found shortcuts. I still find shortcuts. I'm in college, and I don't. Sometimes I just don't fully learn the things that I should. But in fighting games, you have to. You have to learn these situations in and out, and you have to do your homework, and you have to go into the lab and learn things that sometimes you don't want to. And that's all kind of new to me. I'm glad this is a lesson that I learned through a video game and not some more serious life matter. So now, instead of looking to others for answers, I can draw my own conclusions, whether that be from others' replays or other data that I need to look at, or whether it be things that I'm just finding myself in the lab. I'm thinking for myself, right? I'm not looking for others to find the answer for me in a replay or find the answer for me on Dust Loop or somewhere that has a lot of data. Another thing I learned is like watching replays with an intention, if that makes sense, like looking for something specifically that you found you're missing in your game, right? And for me, that was pressure. I was missing pressure in my game plan playing Giovanna a lot. I was just sort of, I don't know, like pressing a button and then backdashing to the other side of the screen. Like just letting them free for no reason, when a big part of Giovanna's game plan, if you haven't played Strive, is her rushdown, right? She's a rushdown character, and she's plus on a lot of things. So you want to use that to your advantage, not just let them out once you corner them. I guess a good way to describe her, she's almost like Bison if he was a motion character, to be honest. She has a lot of plus frames. But I just wasn't using those plus frames or her normals really effectively. Alright, I kind of lost the plot somewhere along the way, but that happens a lot here. Idea I wanted to touch a little bit more on before I let you guys go is the difference between guilt and motivation, because that's something that I just realized when I was saying it out loud. You know, there's no script here. I just like say things, and then if it doesn't make sense, I just delete it and then re-record it because I'm on Audacity. But sometimes something comes out and then I say, hey, that's a good point. Like, it's like I'm having a two-way conversation with myself. But I felt like that was a distinction that I need to make if I want to move forward, is I need to distinguish motivation from guilt. Playing when you don't want to play out of, like, I guess fear of missing out, or that people are getting better than you while you're not doing anything, is not conducive to getting better. Like, playing out of guilt, I guess, is not conducive. It makes you resent the game when things don't go your way. And then sometimes it feels like even when you win, you lost, right? Especially if you're playing against, I guess, like a Mei, for example, and they're spamming like Dolphin, but you still won because you knew how to beat the Dolphin. It still feels like you lost, right? Because they're having fun on the other end, it feels. It just feels like the way that every Mei that I play against plays, they're just having the most fun in the world, right? They're just jumping around, double jumping, air dashing, Totsugeki, like they don't care. They're just having a good time. So even when I win, it feels like I lost. But that's neither here nor there. That's just a weird thought that I had sometimes. Is like, you can tell when somebody on the other side is just having a great time and you're trying to like practice. It's like that meme, like the Zoomer versus Boomer meme, where the guy's like crying and he's saying you can't just do like X and then the other guy's just laughing. That's what it feels like playing against some people. But anyways, I think I found my answer. This is definitely like a therapy session for me, you know? I just talk to myself and then listen to it back and think about it, right? Getting your thoughts out, whatever medium it is, whether it's like a video or you're writing a journal or something, is very beneficial, I think. I think that's going to be it for me today. If you were in the stream yesterday too, let me know in the comments below. That was probably the worst display I have ever put on. Like, it was very bad. I lost to like a Zato with very flowchart, like pressure. People were trying to help me in the chat and I couldn't figure it out. And I lost like 0-3 to him. Then I played an Eno, like a Celestial Floor Eno, and I lost another 10 games. And it was just like me getting super mad, but trying not to show it. And then sometimes I'd slip up and just get angry. And it was just not a fun time. So I think I owe you guys another stream that's quality and not just me being a Salt Lord for like an hour and a half. So look forward to that. I usually put a video up on here, like a little clip saying I'm live. And if you want to follow my Twitch, I'll leave it in the description. I need like 5 followers to get to 200, I think. So if you're not following, consider following me on Twitch and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow.